There we go. Let me on stage here. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the A.I.P channel and another great addition to Talking with Conspiracy. We got the great Dave. Dave has returned. And we got Jamie. Jamie has returned. We got the trio is back in full effect. So it's going to be a good one. You know that. You got the Rumble chat already rumbling.
Oh yeah, let me get that pulled up.
We got James with South Cedar Paranormal and Hiker Emoji. As always, she is always there.
Always
We
there.
appreciate you. We appreciate her for sure.
Gentlemen,
Double
how's that mic
checking
sound?
everything. I felt
Mic
good the
fine?
other day. I was watching another live from lot bigger podcast, and they were doing like the same thing, kind of looking around. They were quiet for like first 20 seconds, looking down. And they were on live, but I said, well, hell, we doing pretty freaking good. We got some cool topics tonight. We're gonna guess what? Hell, we'll just hit the damn thing swinging. I guess. Hell, Dave, did you see the ceasefire over in the Middle East?
If
Thank.
my mic is on, tell me.
I
A
can
little
hear
more
you a little
about that.
bit. Turn it up a little bit, but I can hear you.
How's that?
Oh, there
Whoa,
you go.
now we can hear him,
Rock and
baby.
rolling, baby.
Let me just trim the volume a little. How's that?
That's all right. Well, let's see. Our professional hiker, how is it? Hiker takes care of our
That's right. Yeah, we got our
troubleshooting there.
sound man. A.I.P. Let me just go to the channel.
But yeah, what do you think about our this nice ceasefire we got going on? Maybe
Here we go. I am muted. You can hear me. The chat is on my screen. Welcome everybody. Holy moly, the chat is jumping. Dude, let me remind you, for everyone who forgot, let me just remind you. Dude, I'm out of the loop. Stand down. Who stood down where? Tell me what's going on, and then I'll tell you what I know about it, because I don't know shit about it yet. If that makes sense.
They turned around and they brokered a deal, of course, 5 days before Trump takes office, and he was very adamant. If they didn't let our people go, the
Hang on, wait a minute. Hang on. We've got this all wrong.
I'm sorry, James.
Pelosi has let us know who fixed it. She tweeted today. This is from the desk of Nancy Pelosi. Today's announcement of a ceasefire and hostage deal between Israel and Hamas is welcome news. Thanks to the leadership of POTUS and American diplomacy, families of hostages will finally be reunited with their loved ones, and innocent civilians in Gaza can begin to rebuild. Let us hope that this is an important step forward, will bring lasting peace to the region. Joe Biden clearly ended everything over there. I'm sure that it had absolutely nothing to do with. Help me, somebody. Like, who gets the credit for this? Dave, take it away.
They asked on an interview. They asked Biden. He said, "Well, who should get credit for it, him or Trump?" And he looked at me. He's like, "Is this a joke?" And they're like, "No." And he turned around and walked away. He wasn't happy.
Okay. Okay.
It's yeah. I mean, Joe Biden. Thank you for our hero, Joe. Thank you, Joe Biden.
Good old Sleepy Joe. Who's been running him all this time? That's the question, because he's not even running himself. So who has been our leader or leaders? Who is the oligarchy, the deep state? Who are they? It wasn't Joe Biden.
So I heard something once upon a time that even after Soros's death, his ideology will move on because so many people have just been brainwashed into that sect that it's on autopilot now, right? So Joe Biden, mine checked out. Who's running it? The admins are the people that are there, the interns. You know,
Sure, okay. The stay behind government.
Right. You know what I mean? Like
the one that never changes or gets elected. The bureaucracy.
Right. You know, these people, man. It's that's where we are.
Okay. Now that does make a lot of sense, Jamie. That does make a lot of sense. Man, I don't like those people.
Wait, here, check out this video here. Did it do it? Okay.
I do think that all sides agree that Trump's hand in this has made a difference one way or another.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with Trump. He's been perfectly clear. He has not vacillated about his message that if they don't send our people back, there's going to be hell to pay. And thank God he has been on that message and he has not wavered from it. He's not stepped back from it. And I don't really care, candidly, who the president is when all this happens. I just want him back. I mean, I've worn this yellow ribbon out here every night for over a year because I think there's so many families who are just devastated. They're hurting. They don't know what the situation is. And we need this to come to an end. There are Americans involved here. Look, I think we're going to end up paying a very heavy price in this deal. I'm sure some terrorists are probably going to wind up being let out of jails. I don't particularly like that. But to settle this, to get peace and to get our people back, I think it took Trump winning the election and being clear-eyed about it to make it happen. Scott, if you were Iran or any terrorist with any level of responsibility, what you have witnessed is that the Biden administration has tried to, at various points, put shackles on Israel. You can say they've been strong on it, but they have at times tried to put rhetorical and military shackles on Israel. There is no expectation that Trump would put shackles on anybody, and there is some expectation that he might just get involved himself if they don't send our people back. So I do think this was the essential element to getting this over the finish line, and I hope it happens right now. A great nation, a superpower, does not permit its people to be held and treated like this for as long as we have. I don't think Donald Trump wants to be taking over a country that was willing to permit that kind of behavior by these thugs and terrorists. And so I think that's why he was clear-eyed in his statements, and I think that's why they're responding.
All right, everyone.
Thank you, Joe Biden. Hey, at least they get it, man. I mean, you know, some people are starting to show up to the table that have some common sense and understand it, you know.
So who was the directive essentially given to by Trump's messaging, and by Trump it was to Palestine, to Hamas? What's the group? I forget the terrorist organization that we're talking to. That the stand down order was and the negotiation was dealt with.
Well, it's Hamas and Israel.
It's between Hamas and Israel.
So, I mean, we want to. I'm not going to say anything. How you guys feel about this? Like, just going back away from who got it done. Let's step back from who got it done, and let's go back to like Israel is doing things again. Yay! Like, how do we feel about this with that filtration on the lens, right? With that in mind.
I mean, like, what did Israel do that was good?
Well, right. So, like, who needs to
clearly Donald Trump is the one that's had to step in and stop this shit. You know, it's not like they brought it to the table.
Just bring about a fucking ceasefire and a peace. Just like stop the bullshit. Like, just stop it, right? So is it a both sides? Is he slick? Like, who is the aggressor over there? Number one, like, I don't know.
So
who's the aggressor over there?
That's a great question. That's a great question, because both sides keep antagonizing the other and then point their finger at the other. And then when you look on the background and you realize that the United States is the one that's funding this whole thing over there, and that we're giving money to both sides, You know, I think that
Right. Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
think
sir.
that with Donald Trump, I think with Donald Trump coming in and dropping his message down of, hey, it's going to stop. Hey, either it's going to stop or the money stops. You know, and yeah, I think DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, you know, I think DT, he knows the financial game. And at the end of the day, money is the cause of most major wars and territorial conflicts. You know what I mean? So, you know, you control the money, you control the war, and you control the power. So you start cutting off aid and you start cutting off resources to those people over there on both sides, you know, and make both of those communities fend for themselves, both Israel and, you know, and just say, hey, we're done with both of you. Now nobody wins over there and they all need our money, you know. So
what's the latest with Israel and Syria? Like, I don't even keep up with stuff. I remember that was going on, that was popping a little bit. Like, do you guys remember or know
so
what's
what had
going on
happened
there?
was what had happened was what had happened was they went into Syria and struck some shit in Syria. Right after that, some kind of plans got released where they started talking about going into Turkey and striking Turkey. Well, in case nobody's done the math, Turkey is a NATO country. Israel is not.
Israel was talking about.
Yeah, apparently some kind of plans got leaked that, you know, that there was this plan that was drawn up where, you know, they were going to go into Turkey and hit this spot in Turkey. And dude, I mean, honestly, bro, listen, there's too much shit going on over here that I want to worry about. I don't mean to sound disparaging to any other population in the world, but man, we got enough problems in my backyard in Memphis, Tennessee for me to give two shits what the fuck is going on the other side of the world.
I agree. I dig that. I dig that, brother.
You know, I
was just gonna ask you, like, is Trump going to tell Netanyahu, like, hey, you need to, like, just chill the fuck out, bro? Because
man, look,
right,
bro.
they run secret ops and do all type of fuck shit, just like the CIA, and probably half the time with them, right, and have forever. Like, so that's the big question. Like, it's beyond like whose big dick swinging, pissing in the corner has gotten this done. I'm more concerned with, like, are we done with a Zionist occupied government? That's what a white supremacist would say. They would say. I'm saying, dude, like, soberly minded, are we done letting this little nation over there, like, dictate what our fucking military does? And are we done catering to this huge lobby? I'm so sorry to put it in the phrases of, like, things I've saw in the movies, but, like, right?
So,
to a degree,
I mean,
to a degree, and look, let me be really clear. It's pure propaganda that would associate some sort of racial supremacy, extremist ideology with what I would describe as a sober and fair critique of a foreign nation state's influence in my nation's politics. Period. A foreign nation state's influence in my nation's politics. As a sovereign nationalist, like you just described, Jamie, I'm worried about Mississippi and Tennessee and New York and California, and not much farther than that. As a nationalist, and I fully agree with that. I love my homeland, and everybody that's here, I don't care what you look like or what you believe. If you're here, this is the land that we fucking depend on. We need to shore these borders up. We need to tighten our shit up because we're getting fucked up. And so it has nothing to do with race, and that is propaganda. But seriously, the Jewish influence, not Jewish, the Zionist Israeli influence in our government is out of control. And Trump, man, he was friendly with Netanyahu. So the big question is, will he take a stand and say this needs to be tamed down quite a bit?
Let's not
it makes you wonder.
twist. Go ahead.
I was gonna say makes you wonder, but yeah, it's you got APAC spent a lot of money, getting politicians and bragging about how many politicians they had that they pretty much funded their campaigns to get them, uh, brought in. That what was that? Oh, do I have it saved? That one lady with she spoke out. I do have it saved. I do have it saved. Where's that? That and she spoke out, and APAC went through there and hammered her absolutely, and just spent millions of dollars to make sure she didn't get reelected because she was trying
Sure.
uh, to
They
stop
need to
the
register as a
bloodshed in
foreign
Gaza.
agent. They need to register as a foreign agent. It's that simple. They need
They
to
were
register.
going to before, and and somebody got unalived right there as the president, and it stopped. The whole right after that, it completely disappeared and
Bro,
stopped
let me
happening.
be real with everybody for a moment. Look at that on my arm. That says Yahweh in Hebrew script. I love Jewish culture, and I actually practice a form of religion that some people from afar say, are you Jewish? And I'm like, well, I may do certain things that you might also see Jewish people do. So understand me when I promise, like, hate is not any sort of a animus in my passion for national security. That is, again, propaganda. And like, we can talk about the Israeli influence, just like we could talk about the Russian or Chinese influence, right? We always talk about Russian interference in the elections and the propaganda bots. Well, let me tell you something. There are Israeli bots. I think there's Palestinian bots. There are Ukrainian bots. Motherfucker. There are so understand, right?
But what if for a moment, hang on. What if for a moment that you realize that all those bots are all the same cause? Because the cause is to keep the confusion and the division, you know what I mean? And war makes money. You know what I mean? Conflict makes money. When you make people choose between two sides, even if it's red and blue, even if it's just two colors, green and purple, you've got shit to sell now because you've divided people and you've made them pick one or the other. It's a marketing ploy. You know what I mean?
Always.
I mean,
no
sorry,
lies
it's
detected. Shit, brother. That's right.
Follow the money.
it just follow the money, man. Follow the money. Nobody wants a unified country. Nobody wants America to, unite and say, hey, man, we can all do this together. Fuck these people.
Here's a great question for a couple of podcasters like you guys and myself. What are we going to do to save media and not just free speech? It's not the endangerment of free speech, but like at this point, the noise you just described to me, an incredible deluge of noise, a nonstop cacophony of propaganda of all kinds to keep us divided. How do we have news that is healthy, that is true in any tangible fashion, that we can trust without quadruple rabbit hole fact checking in our own way? Like, you understand, like, because the sheer volume of content is staggering. I once heard that if you were to watch, go ahead. What do you think?
There is a website.
Media.
There is a website you can go, but like it's a little pricey, but it's interesting. I'll look it up and I'll see if I can find it. I forget exactly what it's called, but I'll look it up. I'll get the exact name. But it actually shows you. It'll show you a news article, and it'll show you, like the trending news, and it'll show you what the leaning right is actually saying about it, what the leaning left is saying about it, the central, and what's articles, and it has it broke down and it shows you like, okay, what these, the ones are leaning way left, what are they saying about it, and you can see how just the absolute difference, in way it's at. You see, I mean, I know I've seen that during political years too. Like if different magazine articles with the same magazine, but they're in different areas, and when they're produced in a different area, they'll have a different cover because they're pushing that certain narrative. And this website here, I'll look, like I said, I'll look it up and I'll try to remember, but it'll actually um it actually breaks you down for you and actually shows you. So there's stuff like that. I think,
That's cool.
I think more people need to turn off. They We need to have like maybe a petition like for everybody. If everybody could do it for a little bit, I know they won't, but I mean, this saying for like, I think it'd be good for everybody. It's like everybody cuts the news off. Absolutely,
Yes.
nobody watched a damn one of
Yes.
them. Their ratings
Fuck
just
yeah.
go to zero for a whole week, and then we're like, okay, are y'all going to start being bipartisan? Let's have both sides. Let's not have a whole party panel of 15 left leaning and one poor right leaning bastard on there, and they just talk over them. Let's have it balanced. Let's have it, discussions. And that's how you work things out, is having discussions. And maybe that's what it really going to take. But I don't know if we be able, as a people, could come to that and be able. There's so many people with their head in the sand and don't want to look at either side, or don't like, well, this is my news and this is what I believe, or this is mine. It was like years ago I started, and I got slack for it. I started watching RT for a while because, I mean, I know it's Russia Today, but if you watched actually RT for a while, they actually had, we were talking about the Kardashian bullshit or this and all this little bullshit going on, and they would actually talk about exactly what is going on, exactly what situations going around the world. Even if they're over here, they would just talk about stuff going around over here that you might see 3 seconds on a little bleep on the bottom of a screen, but they're more worried about, well, Ben and J Lo are getting divorced and stuff like that. That's what you see on the news, and like, who gives a shit? If that's what they want to do, that's fine. They get a divorce, okay. But that shouldn't be the major news fucking article or major news when all
Exactly.
kinds of hell going loose. We still got people in North Carolina that are living in fucking tents in the middle of the winter in the Appalachian Mountains. And if you never, I imagine both of you have, but I've been in the Appalachian Mountains in the fucking middle of winter. It's a cold son of a bitch.
That's
unthinkable. And poor people are in tents and very little food. And then of course you got the fires here in Cali. That's terrible. A lot of the ones that got burnt, some of the ones that got burned up, they're not going to be hurting as bad as them poor people out there. It's terrible happening all the way around. It's not taken away from anything from anybody. It's terrible all the way around. Just terrible disasters. And they only gave them like $700 too. I'm like, I posted on my Twitter. I was like, you low down bastards, man. Like, come on. Like, that's in Cali, $700. That's McDonald's in a hotel room for a day. That's it.
Right.
Truly,
right.
The prices and stuff out there, like, truly, that's a happy meal in a fucking hotel room.
It's a slap in the face when you give away billions and print trillions.
Yeah. So check this out. This is what I've seen, right? Like when you watch the news and everything, and they talk about, like you brought up the Kardashians, right? We've created a culture where around 100 people control the groupthink of the majority of the nation through influencers, whether it's Hollywood, sports, or just YouTube and TikTok influencers. You know what I mean? That's why the story talks about, like, your local news media, WMC TV5. Out of Memphis, these guys are posting happy birthday to Denzel Washington, happy birthday Khloe Kardashian. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It's fluff.
Why
and
is
filler,
it
right?
Right. It's so important that we acknowledge these people. Let's talk about the shit that's going on in Memphis. Let's talk about, Memphis is celebrating that we only had 300 and I think 305 or 303 or something. And I'm like, well, crime is down. We didn't have as many murders as last year. Okay, we're still pushing 300 fucking murders a year compared to 6 years ago, 4 years ago, when we were only doing, 200. So don't expect us to celebrate the new norm, man. No, nobody wants to talk about that, man. But if we fool you with Russia disinformation or fake racism in the police department, or let's call this whistle to this or that, or now it's the transgender thing, man. And it's a sad state that we live in, that a dude that has lost his fucking mind can go cut his dick off, grow his hair out, run for Congress, win, and tell us that we're all out of our mind for not just accepting this person the way they are. No, that's a mental state, bro. Like if a person that's trying to be a woman walked up to a gun counter and tried to buy a weapon, that person should be immediately disqualified because they're out of their fucking mind. I'm sorry.
Bro, as a Second Amendment advocate, I caution you against red flag laws. Now listen. Bro, the one you're talking about, the health secretary, right? What was its name? His name? Sorry,
dude, there were multiple in the White House this time. You know what I mean? And
yeah, the bald-headed one that went to prison for stealing
luggage, bro. Luggage, bro, right? Stealing luggage.
All right. So I saw the fucking funniest meme today, but it cut me to my very heart, because at the core of it, I have compassion for these people that are being preyed upon by trans propaganda. But the fucking meme, dude, I retweeted it and I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever encountered a situation where this probably wasn't true. And I even came up with this very controversial phrase that I won't utter tonight, but I'm going to keep it back here and roll it around for a while until the time is right. Because, and this tweet puts me in mind of it, but I'm going to read it for you here. It's from Woke and Woofing. He says this. He says, I told my pub landlord he should hire a trans person. He replied, oh, well, what kind should I get? An autistic, confused teenager or a midlife crisis pervert? And I was like, oh my fucking God, there's only two kinds of trans people, isn't there? And this old British guy kind of narrowed it down. Is it a victimized, groomed up autistic teenager, or is it a midlife crisis pervert? That's your two trannies in the world. That's the trans lobby in a nutshell. Of course, that's a little bit controversial, fellas. But anyway, it was a funny tweet. But I find it to be more true than not.
If you look on the screen here, for the ones that have got to see it, yeah, the number one most dangerous city is Memphis, Tennessee, for another year in a row, followed by St. Louis and Detroit.
I sure am glad crime is down in Memphis.
We're still the most.
Here's what's crazy. Listen. Here's what's crazy. I believe they all have female police chiefs. Nope, Detroit is he's brand new. Apparently just took over the job. Who had it last year? Interim police chief Todd Bedson of Detroit. Is it? Well, so I looked up on Grok the other day, and I looked up, show me, the major cities that have female police chiefs, and it's like I think Chicago was one. Memphis. I thought they had St. Louis on there, but apparently St. Louis is not one. But all these major Democrat-led areas all have female police chiefs. And I wonder what the thinking is behind that. I mean, Atlanta has one, I believe. Let's see. Actually, let's ask the Grok.
The Grok will tell
Would you, Jamie? Would you agree with this statement? Would you agree that there's no problem with a female or any other type of police chief, unless you appointed them for the sake of that immutable quality, right? If you give someone a job based on something they don't even control, that's a bad reason to give it to them, right? You should give it on merit and ability. Am I wrong for saying
so?
That?
The Memphis police chief, this female, was fired from her 2 previous posts, but somehow landed the job in Memphis. How does that happen? If I found a gentleman that was fired from his previous 2 posts, one of which had to do with a sexual assault case that involved a detective's husband or a detective or something, right?
But Jamie,
he wouldn't get the job. He wouldn't get the job. So if he wouldn't get the job, why does she get the job? Help me
Jamie,
understand.
Haven't Republicans run Memphis most of the years out of the last 50 years, and that's why we're in such trouble? And Democrats just got control, right? I mean, Republicans fucked everything up in Memphis. Or have Democrats run it for longer than I'm thinking? How long have Democrats been in control in Memphis politics? I'm curious. That's a good question. In the last 50 years.
Man, I think
I'm willing to bet that.
Because Harrington was president king of Memphis there for 16, and we would let's see, you had who was before him? I forget. I was a little kid when he was mayor, and Harrington took over in the 80s.
Have Republicans ever held the mayorship?
Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Whoa. Let me pull that up. Paul Young, current mayor, Democrat. Jim Strickland, 2016 to 23, Democrat. Before then, A.C. Wharton Jr., Democrat. Let's never forget Sweet Willie Harrington, Democrat. Before that, Mr. Richard Hackett, Democrat. Before that, Joe Patterson, interim, Democrat. Before that, Wyeth Chandler, Democrat. Henry Loeb, Democrat. Edmund Orgel, 1956 to 59, Democrat. Frank Toby, Democrat. Mr. Watkins Overton, Democrat. E.H. Crump, Democrat. Walter Clapp, going back to 1893, Democrat.
It's always been Democrat. I was thinking that.
Gosh,
we got streets named after them. We got Crump and Overton and.
Sorry. Whoo. Damn, son.
Crazy, ain't it?
That's what
crazy.
150 years of Democrat run, you get the most dangerous city in the world.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations.
Hey, listen, I'm just glad that we've got a female police chief to make our DEI quota, Man,
yes,
if she came in, dude, listen, bro, let me tell you something. If this woman came in, and a lot of people don't know, this chick got her fucking gun stolen out of her police car in like her first 2 weeks on the fucking job in Memphis. Hang on. Let me fact check that. Hey, excuse me, assistant, fact check that for me. Are you ignoring me now? My system is ignoring me. Google it. Police chief gun, Memphis. While I work on that. You've got one job.
She's throwing links in the damn chat, but you ain't paying attention.
No, I'm seeing that. No, I see it. Crime Report St. Louis. I got it right here. You know, but see, and that's the thing. Like even so I just got sent a story, St. Louis, right? They talk about crime is down, but it's still the second most dangerous place. They
Right.
the repetitive lie that, well, it's down, it's down, it's down. No, it's not. You know, it may be down just a couple numbers or a few points from the previous year, but overall, statistically, bro, crime over the last 4 years is through the fucking roof.
Bro.
Since 2020,
Yes.
it's been a huge problem.
Well, you know what Mark Twain said about stats and stuff. He said, "Figures don't lie, but liars sure do figure." And so I can make a stat say any fucking thing I want. But the fact is that yes, yet again, the city we live in and around is one of the most dangerous per the data and per capita in this nation to live in. The funny thing is, I'm around the age of 14. I moved from a St. Louis suburb down here. And so St. Louis and Memphis are my spots, dude. I love both cities. You know what I mean? I love both cities, but they're dangerous cities. And, you know, we need to continue to challenge that and discuss what's happening. Everything from our governance and leaders, you know, all the way to our culture and our leadership as individuals. All of it needs to be, you know, continuously critiqued until we can no longer be the fucking champion murder capital. I mean, we joke about it, but fuck, dude, you know, it's a terrible thing that we are living in this place where that is the reality. Gunshots, fully automatic gunfire every other night, all the time. Police not equipped, not trained. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not supported. Multiple problems. Not only just like, hey, let's support the police, but like they need to be supported and they need to be fucking trained and they need to be accountable. All those things need to be true, not just one or the other. They all need to be true. And we're a long way from
here. I walk a double line. Okay. Number one, and this is funny because I hang myself on both sides of this fence. First and foremost, I am law and order and I respect the police. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
on
sir.
the flip side of that, I am 100% fuck the police. Okay. There is a wall and there is a line
you just said it.
of where you're supposed to be at, you know,
Right.
and
right.
here is where I expect you to be with every interaction that I have with you or with anybody that you're having around me. You know what I mean? And when you cross that line, then I'm fuck the police 100%. And no, you're not going to act like a fucking dick just because you have a badge and a gun.
They need to be constitutionally trained. That's what needs to happen. They need to be constitutionally trained. That could simplify it. The First and Fourth Amendment, you know, remember those two of all of them.
Yeah, St. Mary's been Democrat since 1949, and they are number 2 most dangerous city. Thank you, Whit. We got our own.
No, you say St. Louis also has been Democrat
since 1949. There you go. Put it back up there.
Wow. St. Louis mayors are all Democrat. Jamie, the one you were thinking about was that real radical George Soros plant. There's a couple out of it during the 2020 riot Summer of Love that were making noise. Was it Gardner? One of them, she was wanted. I didn't even follow up on that. I fucking forgot. That one chick that was making so much noise was an elected representative out of St. Louis for Missouri. Damn, what's her name?
Lyda Crewsome?
What was it?
Lyda Crewsome?
No. Later, she was fucking wanted, this broad. She was making hella noise, you know, BLM. Fuck, she was like ultra radical left communist. She's real outspoken. What was her name? And then let me find this. St. Louis. Elected reps.
Well, y'all look it up. I had in the YouTube chat, we had Overlander BC said we should check out Canada's politics. They mirror the U.S. and says show that there obviously something outside regular government's pulling the strings. Canada's politics is like we always complain about California and how terrible, like the insanity in California, but Canada is like California on speed, and it's absolutely insane out there. It's you look at
They're in a very
they
similar
they took
struggle.
all them truckers protested and they locked their damn bank accounts and shit.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Now that's
And-
that's some weird, wild shit right there. You know what I mean?
Bro,
You go out of town, you know, all of a sudden you're out of town and your shit don't work anymore. What?
Corey
Just because
Bush,
you were
bro.
there. And because you're a big and you're in a big truck too, them fuckers eat some damn fuel. Shit.
You know,
Yeah,
they're I don't remember what credit card company after January 6th profiled everybody in that used their credit card in the area, but they sent a list of everybody that used their credit card. Welcome to Memphis. To the feds.
Bro, Corey Bush. Come on, bro. You're a news junkie. You've heard of Corey fucking Bush, the noisy ass radical out of Missouri.
Right.
But let me look at this. Corey Bush wanted or Corey Bush warrant. What? Because they were looking for her ass at one point. Anyway, this may be old news. It was from last year, I think. Corey Bush being investigated by DOJ. Anyway, a corrupt St. Louis politician, a Democrat, a fucking radical Democrat. The Democrats are corrupt, bro, to the core, and probably the Republicans too, but for sure the Democrats, and they're crazier at the time being, and they're way more radical and retarded. I mean retarded in a bad way, not in the love way. I love the good way, but these people are bad retarded. And so anyway, down with that sort of thing is what I say. Corey Bush, corrupt politician. She's no longer serving. 2025. She's either about to give up the seat or whatever. But
so you're talking about Canada locking cards down, right? After January 6th, the bank, it was Bank of America that voluntarily gave up a list of all customers that were in the area, right? Back in May of 2023, House GOP apparently was investigating this. I don't remember what came of it, but I did find an article that was related to it. There was another company last year that got jammed up for tracking firearm purchases. Apparently, they were keeping a list of anybody that spent over a certain dollar amount at firearm retailers, and they were putting them in a separate file, and they were keeping up with all this information. That's kind of scary shit, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, the feds are here. Why are you here? Well, we saw that you had a credit card transaction for $692. What did you buy? Whole lot of ear pro. Cases of it.
Man. That needs to be the first stop of Doge, Government Accountability Office, Government Efficiency, rather. Elon
Speaking of new created offices, did you see Donald Trump's tweet about creating the kind of the opposite of the IRS that basically is in charge of now monitoring and taxing the tariffs and paying attention to I can't remember what it's called. But basically, and what I think it's going to do is it's going to offset our burden to where now I'm hoping this is what's going to happen, man. We should not be taxed to death paying for the heirs of the global crew. You know, y'all fuck it up over there. It's not my responsibility, bro. I'm trying to fill in a fucking hole in my backyard that keeps flooding every time it fucking rains. And all of a sudden you want me to rebuild a school that we fucking blew up in Ukraine or Russia or fucking Syria or nah, man. I got to pay for the bomb that went in to blow up the fucking building. Now I got to pay for the fucking school that got blown up. Now I got to pay for the fucking cow that got killed. Bro, I'm cool with that. Can I fix the hole in my backyard? I'm done.
Mike Strange said he was talking about to his family about 6 months ago about having the external revenue service.
Here it is.
Who is
The
watching
external-
the watchers? I ask. That's a
Watching?
great
I don't watch
idea.
the Watchers. I don't know.
Who is watching the watcher? If the IRS are the watchers, who's watching the watchers?
Nobody.
I mean, fuck those guys. Yeah, let's have the opposite of the CIA. Let's.
Every time they get audited, they're missing billions and trillions of dollars.
All right.
Like every time
I
they
just want to
audit
go
one,
back.
the
I just want to
government-
go back to September 10, 2021.
Oof. 2001. Yeah. The 2 trillion missing. From
Yeah,
the,
2001. Right.
comptroller.
Yeah. How many trillion?
Comptroller. What was that guy's
2.3.
name?
Rumsfeld?
Yeah, Donald
Fuck, what was
Rumsfeld.
his name? The
Was that him?
comptroller. That might be
Hang on.
right.
Donald Rumsfeld. It sounds good.
Comptroller. September 10th, 2001 was when that came out. The day before. Missing 2.
Yeah, it's Rumsfeld.
Yeah, it's
Rumsfeld.
Rumsfeld. It's Donald Rumsfeld. $2.3 trillion. I'm not even looking it up. I just know that stuff in my head.
3. Did you say?
Yeah, with a T. Put a T on it, baby.
Fucking.
This ain't time out. This is $1 trillion. Yes, sir.
You know, bro, listen,
they-
listen.
It just
Listen.
audited the IRS. They just audited the IRS and
I'm just going to tell you, okay? They got a major IRS hub in Memphis, okay? And I can tell you by the amount of Infinities and high-end chargers over there that somebody needs to take a deep look into the people that work at the IRS. You know, 31.9 billion from what? I just learned that 31.9 billion is what the IRS was short on their last audit.
I knew it was billions. I couldn't remember that number. The 9/11 number.
And that's what they're given per their budget that they've fucked off, or that whose money is that? I know it's ours either way, but like, was that their budget and their own accounting that was fucked off and embezzled to the tune of so many billions, or was that like money that they've collected from the honest taxpayer that they've misplaced? What monies, or is that not clear?
Probably combinations. It's a combination.
Yeah,
of
probably
all the
combination.
above.
So check this out. Here's what people I don't think truly understand. Okay, I spent the last 8 years of my career in the corporate world going to different conventions, going to different celebrations, different program rollouts and stuff like that. You know, when you talk about the level of expense report that we're dropping for dinner, flights, travel, cars, you know, there's some money that's spent there, you know. Take that up a notch or two where you're talking about a person that constantly gets black car service everywhere that they go, that's only staying in 5-star resorts, that's only eating at top tier restaurants, that's only ordering $200 bottle of, you know what I'm saying? It's a level shit. And if you don't think that, you know, people get mad when they hear about their CEO of their company, you know, going out and eating a high-end dinner or some shit. Like, I remember working in the casino, people be mad that the fucking GM is eating the steakhouse. What you should be mad about is the fact that your fucking U.S. senator is going out and spending exuberant amounts of money that's all being written off to the fucking taxpayer dime. You know what I mean? Because if it's happening on a corporate level, imagine what it's happening on a government level. where it's a fucking blank check, bro. It's a blank check because they write the rules that they abide to. At corporate, I knew how much I could allot myself today to eat on. I knew that I had X amount of dollars. You know, these motherfuckers just, you know,
And that's why they need a raise. They need a raise because
right.
of that.
Think about this for a second. Think about this. Think about you're buying a gift for someone. Okay. This is the way that I look at these guys and the way that they blow money. If you're buying a gift for someone, personally, one-on-one, you're going to buy a quality gift. You're going to get the most value that you can for the dollar that you spend so that you can make sure that person has a quality experience. Imagine now that you personally have to buy for 10 people. You're going to spend a little less, but you're still going to do everything that you can to get that person a quality item within that budget that you have. Now, imagine that you've got an unlimited budget and I've got to care now for 10,000 people. And I'm just trying to stay in budget and make sure I have a surplus because at the end of the day, I'm going to get some of that back. Or if I do my bidding right and I do with the right vendor, I'm going to get some of that back anyway because I'm partnering with the right people. Bro, that shit's happening every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every day. Those people are and they buy shit. It's a shit product, you know, and that's what they do with our money, man. They don't look at it as their money. They don't give a fuck, you know. And then you get a cheap product out of what they blow our money on. So yeah, they fuck these people, man. If I were to ever run for office, do you know what my first major bullet point would be that I run on? I would eliminate property tax for anybody that owns. Now, if you own multiple properties, your main living residence, I will eliminate your property tax the minute you retire. 62 years old, 60 years. I think it's 60 years old. It's done. 60 years old, you don't pay it anymore. Not on your primary residence. And I would make that a national fucking thing. Fuck your state. You know, these states are ripping old people off. You buy a damn piece of property, but you don't ever really own it because you got to keep paying Uncle Sam. Nah, bruh.
Well, they're doing that to me, Jamie. My grandfather built the house I'm living in when I was born, before I was born, 2 years. So it's 40 years old. I'm 38. And he paid property tax on it all his days. I just paid $4,000 on it for 2 years. I got the property and we weren't even living here. $4,000. I'm still working that off. So like, fuck, man, fuck the parameters, brother, respectfully. But let's just do away with the fucking property tax and let a motherfucker own some goddamn land. They'll
and then people
China
say some ignorant shit like, well, that's to pay for the schools. Hey, my kids don't go to those schools. My kids are grown. What about all the people that have grown kids? You know where most of the people live that have kids? In fucking apartments.
Bro, it's a
joke.
I
mean,
when we're missing 2.3 trillion here and 40 billion here, and we're aiding Israel and Ukraine and every goddamn body else here and here, but we have potholed streets.
But you're going to hit me for 6% more a year.
Dumb kids because they fuck our money off and then screw us to, like, we're under a crushing form of tyranny that is deceptive. There's a velvet glove on the iron fist that is crushing us right now. And we are frogs in the pot, but like it's ridiculous the amount of insult that they give to us. It's a humiliation ritual that we are enduring as people. We talk about Hollywood enduring humiliation rituals, but we're under one all the time when they insult us. Here's 750 for your missing house that we direct energy weaponed off the fucking grid or whatever happened, or fucking steered a hurricane into you. Or who knows, but fuck you, here's 750. Oh, by the way, I know we've been taxing you into oblivion since the founding fathers died, but fuck you anyway. Here's to freedom. So yeah, that has to change. All that has to change. And it needs to change in short order, frankly.
I always understand, I don't understand why we could make so much money, but it'd be harder It maybe it's harder to embezzle if they did it this way, but I always thought we should just do the sales tax. That way, just have a sales tax. No fucking federal income tax. Fuck away that shit. Take state
10%
tax.
flat across the board. 10%
fuck that
flat
shit
tax
too.
across the board.
Yeah, because I mean, it don't matter because if you're here legally, illegally, if you're a visa, whatever, if you spend money, you're going to pay tax. It don't matter. So everybody will pay their share. If you go to the
Hey,
store,
here's something funny. Here's something
everything.
funny about that argument about sales tax, about immigrants, right? The argument is, well, immigrants pay tons of sales tax in every state that they go to. And that's the argument, that, hey, these people are contributing. Well, then why do so many states need federal assistance to be able to help take care of these immigrants?
Come on, boy.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You talk about all the taxes they pay, but then you go to the federal government because you need help taking care of them. I thought them bitches were paying taxes. I'm just confused, Ricky Pike.
I like James said if we did that, they wouldn't take as many bureaucrats to manage. So we can't have less bureaucrats with the just only. Uh-oh.
There's Fat Cutie.
They've got a friend. I locked the door.
The
My
bureaucracy
shadow was trying to come in here.
It becomes the purpose of the bureaucracy to continue its own existence. So, by definition, a bureaucracy will pervert itself over time. It's just that simple. That's kind of just a immutable fact about a bureaucracy or any institution. So that's why our government as a whole, when you talk about being a conservative, the definition of that is a conservative limited government and conservative fiscal, like low spending. So to have an exorbitant government is antithetical to the vision of the founders and what would be a healthy federal apparatus, which is a very small, efficient, what only is necessary and nothing more type of government. And instead, what we have is a behemoth leviathan with tendrils like a fucking octopus that are in every aspect of your life, up your asshole and around the corner. And that is antithetical to the vision of freedom that our founders laid out for us. And, we've allowed it through complacency or whatever over the generations. But the fact is, we're a long way from actual freedom. And we're in this very weird kind of corpora oligarchical system where you've got these powerful institutions and monopolistic corporations in collusion with government officials through lobbying and bribes to just tax the fuck out of us, poison us, and essentially enslave us, dumb us down, and tell us to kick rocks if we complain about it. I mean, it's every angle they're hitting us. And I'm probably ranting again in a very negative manner, but damn it, I'm tired of getting tyrannized by these assholes. I'd like for it to stop. I'd like to brainstorm.
Hey, let me give you an interesting fact. Talking about just bureaucrats and people at the top. During World War II, there were 7 4-star generals during World War II. Right now, there are more than 40 across all branches. So during the highlight of the United States' largest war campaign across 2 oceans, 2 continents, we only had 7 leaders of the military. Now there's more than 40.
So it's a top.
We added an extra branch. We added Space Force, so you got to add that in there.
Well, that definitely means we need 40,
brother.
I mean, definitely need 33 generals for Space Force, 4-star at that.
I mean, we see what's going on with them drones and stuff.
Well, hang on
They're
now.
over DC right now.
So, couple things. All right. First of all, let me go ahead and let's share this real quick. Let's share a little screen action here from the desk of MTG today. She just dropped this a little while ago. Chinese drones are flying over the White House. DJI has removed their geofencing. So I own a DJI drone. I've had one for quite a few years, and when they first come out, they basically had an open map. I could fly that joker anywhere. And very quickly, they geofenced airports, major league stadiums, military bases, major monuments, historical places. You know, they shut down places where you could fly these drones into. Well, apparently today, or within the last 24 hours, they've killed the geofencing restriction. And then she put this statement out today.
I was flying into Washington from West Palm Beach yesterday afternoon, and we're approaching into Washington, D.C., making our way to land at DCA. And the pilot comes on, and he says that he's having to reroute and come in and land from another direction due to unauthorized drones over the White House. I mean, you talk about shocked. Everybody was looking around like, what? Did we actually hear the pilot say that? I immediately sent a message to Homeland. We've got to have a hearing on this. We need to investigate this. We need answers immediately. But I want to take this to another level because the news came out today, Sean, and I'm sure you saw it. The Chinese drone company DJI, which really dominates the marketplace, the majority of the marketplace with drones. They just lifted their geofencing restrictions on their drones, meaning that their drones will now be able to fly over our military bases. They will now be able to fly over the White House. And this is all because of the Chinese company DJI has lifted that geofencing. This is a direct threat to our national security by China, because we know companies in China are owned by the Chinese government. And
so that's going on, right? Now, in other interesting news, the drones over New Jersey, apparently, there was a conclusion to that. Have you heard anything about them?
I haven't really heard much. They
kind of just disappeared, didn't they?
Yeah, Twitter. It's like we talked about last week.
They moved to DC, Jamie.
The fog disappeared. The acid fog and the drones and everything. But yeah, let's hear what old Tucker's got to say.
Well, this dropped on a couple days ago. Apparently, I'm just gonna let you watch this.
An intel person told me that this person believed that they were in fact Chinese, and that a Chinese satellite went down, was visible to the naked eye. There were news stories about it. It evaporated, it burned up, and that this person told me that was taken down by the U.S. government. That was a command and control satellite for these drones. And the belief was the Chinese government was sending the following message: we're moving on Taiwan and maybe other things. You can't do anything about it. An intel person told me that.
So, yeah. Drones, Chinese, DJI lifted the geofencing. So what a lot of people don't know is that in Ukraine right now, that war, the ground war, is being it's being dominated by these little DJI drones. And they've got these things rigged with small C4 charges, and they're flying them right directly into troops, and they're literally burning a drone for every soldier that they kill, which seems like a horrible waste of
drones,
equipment. Right. Hey, but it is a possible thing. Like, listen, man, I got I got. Well, it's a horrible waste of equipment and explosive. Just killing one dude for your drone. I mean, But I got jammed up a few years ago, man. I was downtown in downtown Memphis during the fireworks show over AutoZone Stadium, and I had my drone up. I lived in the apartments across the street, and I had my drone up over my apartments, bro, and they freaked the fuck out. When I left, I got met by Homeland Security and got met by Memphis Police Department and the general manager of the Redbirds, and had a very firm talking to. But I proved to them that I never breached their airspace, and I apologized. I wasn't trying to be an asshole. I didn't really understand the implications of it at the time. I'm just trying to get some cool footage, man. But yeah, the way that these things can be used and utilized, and they're getting smaller now. So, bro, we are in for some scary shit. If they wanted to drop a drone swarm on us, you couldn't stop it. You couldn't stop it.
You like them? You see all them in the festivals and stuff, like the Chinese, and and they did it over in the Middle East and Abu Dhabi and stuff like that. And them drone shows they got is insane. What they can sync up and tell it to do. Then you got AI over here not wanting to go away, and computer technology, all kind of the quantum computing, and with Willow and all that stuff. Now you put all that together, the possibilities of shit going insane is just, the potential is magnifying every day.
Let me show you what's coming to kill you, Ricky Pike.
Can we hey, do y'all want to go skeet shooting? We get some practice. I haven't skeet shot in a long time. I might need to get back in the swing of things.
Bro, let me tell you. Hey, if that video right there don't scare the fuck out of you. Listen,
well, bro,
it takes.
I saw White House Down or whatever it was. They've been telling us this shit. Like they always tell you in the movies. They'll put some unbelievable shit in a movie 10 years before they ask you to believe it. So, right? Or Gerard Butler
10 years
is Secret Service, and they throw a swarm out like that. That movie's 10 years old, and they right? I mean, this shit's very.
Let me tell you
real,
what they've
bro.
got. They've got the ability to control these drones from interiors through interiors. Okay, so I can be in Site A inside a fully enclosed room and can control that drone into another building 100 yards away through the walls. Okay, it takes 3 drones to kill a person. First drone blows the door or window to come into your house. The second drone blows the door to whatever fucking room you're hiding in. The third drone blows you up.
Right.
And that's as real as that's the capable.
And it's
that's the shit. That's the shit
you're
that
able to get.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we can do. Not depending on what they can have.
Right. Yeah, dude, we're in a very interesting time. If powers that be truly wanted to fuck us up, it wouldn't take much, And the drone technology, especially with the AI technology, and you can have these things target, dude, like thousands of them, all with one mission, individual assignments. Talk about global mass assassination. Drone theory. Drone theory.
Just
don't.
You wouldn't have to have it. You wouldn't have to have MK. You wouldn't need MK Ultra and using it to run over people in New Orleans and shit. You don't have to have that no more. You could actually.
Dave, I've coined it. You heard it here first. Drone theory, baby.
Drone theory. God damn it. All right.
Multiple drones at one time hitting individual objects. And I'm not talking about a high-flying Raytheon drone that's dropping a Hellfire. I'm talking about small handheld drones that hit individual targets in multiple locations at the same time. Mark my word, we will see that in the next 2 to 4 years, bro.
They already got them tiny as hell right now, like
now
fucking
you're right.
bees and shit.
That's the next thing. We're fixing to start seeing drone terrorist attacks that seem like they're gonna.
Yes,
it's gonna be like it's unstoppable. They're gonna be like, what can we do? It's gonna be a fucking crisis. Yeah, they dropped the geofence. So here's a question: Who compelled JHI? What was the name of the thing again? Who compelled them to put up a geofence in the first place? You said you had a drone, it could go anywhere, then suddenly there was these parameters on it, as there probably should be,
right,
in a controlled airspace. And so who compelled them in the first place, and who's going to compel them again? And
so what happened?
Salcido mentioned anti-drone tech. So go ahead, Jamie. But that we need to shore that shit up straight away.
Well, so when the drones first came out, right, they weren't regulated very well, okay, and you could literally fly these fucking things everywhere.
Sure.
Even after they started regulating them, you had the ability to go in and turn off certain features that I could change. You know, I could change my altitude. Like they have them hard set at a 500-foot ceiling, but I can take the motherfucker up a couple miles as long as I've got line of sight and I'm in a controlled space that I don't have any air traffic overhead. What they did was, I think it was around 2016 or 2018, the FAA came in and said, wait a minute, you know, we've got to have tail numbers on these things. You know, we've had a couple strikes. We need to know who's operating these things. So they put in a mandate that said that all the drones that you buy that fly above a certain height have to be registered with the FAA. You have to receive a tail number. All my drones have been registered and have a tail number on them. And they started setting up these restricted areas, you know, military bases, tourist areas, stadiums, airports. And then even in flight lines, you know, there are places down in North Mississippi where, you know, they set up for Memphis landing where I have a lower hard ceiling because it's within that flight line. So 2018 is when they started putting it in. In the last few years, they started expanding some of those no-fly zones, and now it apparently looks like that it's all been shut down. What video do you have queued up for us there, Ricky?
This is from a day ago. Indians Army Black Hornet nano drones can track inside, and you're going to see how small these things are. Look at.
My son used to have a little helicopter like that my weenie dog ate.
That thing's fucking huge. That's not. It's as big as a pack of cigarettes. You can't call it a nano. It's bro.
Well, I'm just saying that's what the Indian Army has. So imagine what we have. And
I'll tell you that the U.S. military has drones that are about that size that have full 4K on them. They sit in a little MRAP and they fly them into the house while I'm hiding in a closet screaming.
Bro, look up bug. And they're okay. I think I'm pushing.
They got one as the size of a bug that.
Bro, they've got
suicide,
right, but they're going to try to tell you that it's limited and so on and so forth. But we fucking know that the tech is so much farther than they let you know. Bro, they've got them so small. Like, look at what they did in Dune. In Dune, they had like a 100 tracker, right? In the first Dune movie that the remake that they just came out with, right? So had Jason Momoa. Anyway. They let you know in these films. So watch the films. They let you know the tech is there. So these motherfuckers have smart dust. They have smart dust. Of course, they have tiny drones, right? Tiny spy drones that are mosquito sized, right? Of course they do. Of course, there's fake birds. right? I'm not saying birds aren't real like some people, which is funny. It's a whole meme in its own, but there are spy birds and fake birds and tiny drones, surveillance drones, etc. Uh, anyway, I'm sorry. I had to go on that tangent because as scary as those bomb drones are that can come in and fucking kill you, I'm just as terrified as those spy bugs that are flying around fucking everywhere, listening to your damn conversation, man, and spying on your business. You know, it's an affront to civil liberty.
Like these little. This guy here says he got one here.
Wake up, America! Buck.
Got my phone, throwing a stick. I heard about the coming across the street. I figured it was a bunch of locusts or bugs. I don't know, June bugs or something. They flew over our head probably 7, 8 feet. One of them hit the pole, and you could hear it on the ground. I thought it was one of those Katie did things. But you tell me, why in the hell would this shit right here be flying around? Somebody please explain to me what the hell that is. And I found out as I was picking it up, if you squeeze that on the end on each end, then it's going to do it one time. Then I guess it shuts it off.
That means it works. Holy shit, dude.
So somebody, for the love of God, please tell me what that is.
Bro.
It blows up.
Listen, bro. First of all, I'm not gonna go pushing buttons on no little drone I just found.
Oh man!
Hey, what's this little explosive device do?
You hit mute, Dave.
I did that on purpose because I'm over here hooting. Holy shit! That is insane. That motherfucker's dead. Somebody check on him right away.
Yeah,
he said, "What the fuck is this doing?" Like, holy shit! I've seen some staged. I can spot a fake actor. That motherfucker, that fucking country grandpa right there, wasn't bullshitting. That shit hit his goddamn pole, his deer stand. That son of a bitch was telling the truth. I'm telling you, he was telling the truth. But anyway, yeah, that shit exists. I know it exists, and that don't surprise me one bit. And for whatever reason, whatever is happening, the apparatus of deep state fucking let's call them technocrats at this point, because there is a very high tech element to all of this tyranny that is accelerating. That we are under an increasing and accelerating tyranny, and they are unveiling some weird shit. They're doing a bunch of fucked up shit. Weather mod, fucking fires, Lahaina. You got fucking bug technology. Drones are coming in. They're dropping geofences. There's a bunch of bullshit going on. Terrorist attacks. I can't even name it all. It's crazy. So something is like letting the floodgates fucking loose right now. And right up to J20 right here. We're all getting ready, less than a week, under a week, right? So the countdown to Trump coming in, and fuck, dude, we're living in an Orwellian landscape. It's very bizarre, in my opinion.
It's scary to think, that the potential is there that they could, enact some terrible things really, really fast with the technologies out there. It could be, if you hadn't read 1984, you might want to look into it and read it. And I know you got it. And was it Fahrenheit 411? What's the other one? Fahrenheit.
Ray wrote Fahrenheit 451. There's Fahrenheit 9/11 is another one.
Yeah,
so
451 thing.
450, right? But there's there's another production. There's Fahrenheit 9/11, but Ray Bradbury, I think is the guy's name. Bradbury.
Yeah.
In Brave New World, if you haven't read fucking Huxley, man, read those books. They're so old and it'll freak your ass out. But it really does. Like it breaks things down. It deconstructs them. It demystifies them in a way, because there's nothing new under the sun. And these systems aren't complex. Tyrants only have so many tools at their disposal. So, daggum, we lost Ricky's visual for a
I'm
second.
here. It's
you're
I
there.
lost
Okay.
video.
That's
video froze.
that's the sound of a GoPro shutting down.
Yeah, my GoPro shut off. It froze, so I had to cut it off and cut it back on. She gets a little warm sometimes just sitting here being a webcam.
Man.
But she does such a good job video. I just it's a lot better than my
Give me a
old one.
little I'll be back in about 30 seconds, gentlemen. Excuse me one second.
All right. Take care of your business. Take care of your business. Jamie, let me pause this damn video. While he's gone for just a second, I was gonna show this. What do you think of Tim Pool?
Well, I know that he got indicted for apparently being a Russian agent. You know, let's see. Says
go ahead.
Back in September of last year, says right-wing influencers like Tim Pool, Benny Johnson helped spread Russian disinformation. I thought that they had charges filed against them. Let's see. Here it is. Here it is. Let's see. Does this have a Tim Pool on here?
Why you look it up?
No.
Where'd it go? He
Yeah, he something happened. You know, they're calling him right wing, you know, Russian funded. Apparently somebody tied in with some company he works for got arrested or something other. I thought initially that he was arrested. Let me see. Did he get
shit
arrested?
on thing, but he this video here is kind of funny. Because he's pure pro Israel, 100%. You know, he was extreme. You know, and
dude, I'm concerned with having American aircraft carriers over there. Like what I keep being told about the USS Liberty. That's something with the Israeli government.
No, you
Yes.
should.
No.
Wait. You should be careful about that.
Allegedly, the Israeli Air Force jet fighter aircraft.
I mean, they did end up paying out the American government.
So I'm concerned, like false flag operation, like a missile comes out of Gaza and hits one of our aircraft carriers, but it was actually an Israeli missile. Well, I don't want. We should get out of there.
It doesn't. But let me stop you there. It doesn't matter where the missile comes from.
That's weird, huh? Holy shit.
Dude, I'm concerned with.
Hang on. Play that one more time.
Did you? Yeah, I was like, we need Dave to hear that anyway. Yeah, this dumb mother. Yeah, we need Dave to hear that. Dave,
Just in time. David, we need you.
See what Dave got to say on this. And alleged my ass, it happened. USS Liberty fucking got the shit blew out of it. You haven't looked into it. The USS Liberty happened. It was
right.
It was a ship for the U.S. military. It didn't have no arms on it, and it got the ship blew out of it. And the only reason Israel stopped shooting the poor fucking ship was because they ran out of ammunition. And the president covered it up. They covered up, told the soldiers that not to never talk about this ever again. Even though soldiers got hurt, maimed, killed, ship got blown to fucking hell because they were worried about, and because Israel wanted us to go help them fight Egypt. And because they didn't sink the ship, they ran out of ammo. They couldn't blame the ship sinking on Egypt. But let's let Dave see this video right here. But USS Liberty fucking happened. I don't give a shit what. what he thinks. Like, you need to. But let's see
Ricky,
what
that
Dave had
was-
to say on this too.
That was Lyndon Baines Johnson, wasn't it? LBJ
Yeah.
who replaced
Yeah,
JFK.
LBJ fucking douche.
So-
all right.
So yeah. Yeah.
Here,
so
watch this fucking crock of shit right here. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me. I need to have it.
play it,
I should
brother.
be
Make it
bipartisan.
big. Make
I
it
should
big.
make it bipartisan. Have it bipartisan where you're not. But listen to what this son of a bitch says. Let me make sure the volume's all the way up. Volume's all the way up. All right. Listen to what Tim fucking Poole said.
Dude, I'm concerned with having American aircraft carriers over there. Like, what I keep being told about the USS Liberty. That's something with the Israeli government.
No,
Yes,
you
yes.
should.
No. Wait.
You should be careful about that.
Allegedly, the Israeli Air Force jet fighter.
It did end up paying out the American
Yeah.
government.
So I'm concerned, like false flag operation, like people comes out of Gaza
Oh, no, it
and
def-
hits one of our aircraft carriers, but it was actually an Israeli missile. I don't want. We should get out of there.
It doesn't. But let me stop you there. It doesn't matter where the missile comes from.
That's weird, huh? Holy shit.
Dude, I'm.
It doesn't matter where the missile comes from.
It don't matter. Yeah,
Oh
you
my
had.
God. And the award for Zionist chill goes to Tim Poole. Holy shit. That's funny. He said, you should be careful. He said, wait. USS Liberty? I don't think we should talk about that.
I need you to be careful,
Wearing-
Dave. Be
wearing a
careful.
little beanie.
Dave, be careful.
Oh my God. That was fucking funny, Ricky. I'm glad you played that again. Holy shit.
Yeah.
He
No, I
said,
had. You had
"It
to see
doesn't
that.
matter where the
I
missile
was.
comes from. It does.
I knew that. That was
matter.
one I knew was going to have to get
It's
shown a
funny.
couple times because it was like that's so. I had to watch it 3 times when I first watched it because it was like, there's no fucking way this ignorant shill of a person just said that. I mean, I understand if you're, if you're attached to the mouth to a certain anonymity of a certain group, I understand. But I mean, but still,
Look.
Listen, I just want to.
Go ahead, brother.
I think that you reach a point where you generate your fan base and your livelihood comes from it. That's where this guy's making all his money at,
Man.
Do you know where he truly stands on that? Or was he just trying not to step into shitty waters to, not piss off? I mean, look, man, for a long time, I tipped around a lot of subjects because I was uncomfortable to talk to him for the fear of saying something wrong or being misinformed and saying the wrong shit and having to deal with the backlash from it. I don't necessarily have an opinion on him yet. I don't know enough about the dude, but don't act like it didn't happen, Tim Poole, because it did. But hopefully he'll grow some balls and not give a fuck, So I don't know. Is he a paid shill?
the possibility it's like him and what's can't think of his name. Ben
Shapiro.
Yeah, Shapiro's right there. Him and they're neck and neck right now. I think he's trying to take over Shapiro's spot. It's the number 1 kook
for the number 1 kook.
The chat's going pretty good. They were talking about the interview you sent me. I seen it too, but you sent it to me, Jamie. But the LBJ planning JFK assassination.
Right. So I've not watched that whole video yet.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
but my understanding is that some very derogatory remarks are made in regard to LBJ being directly involved in the hiring of one said individual that I never heard his name until I saw this story. You know what I mean? Thank you. Go ahead. Yeah, I don't know, bro. You know, you got to have the 1 liter sometimes.
All right, after a little mic adjustment, I just want to check
Jamie.
back with you. How is that?
No, turn your mic back up. We can't hear you.
Okay, turn it back up.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I feel like it was peaking. Sometimes I'm loud. How about that? If I yell, is that too much?
Bring it down just a little bit there. Just a little bit there, Dave. Just a little bit. Bring it. Okay, go ahead.
How about that?
I think you sound pretty good there. Let's hear it.
Hey, Jamie.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty good.
Look at the screen. Grab the whole. I didn't know how long we're going to go now. I was like, fuck it. I just grabbed the whole thing. Let me, I'll grab the link for the chat here for that. Where's it at?
So, to be clear,
I sent it to you. I said you sent it to me, and I sent it to you. Huh.
Dude, I came up on Alex Jones. I still, man, I fucking love Tucker Carlson. I love Alex Jones. I love their personalities. People say they are controlled opposition. They could be. I'm not saying they are or they aren't. I'm not fucking weighing in on it. Okay. I'm like you, Jim. I don't know enough yet. And I know a lot, but I don't know enough yet. So I love Alex, but I love Alex. And I remember when it was either on one of his documentaries or on his show where there were declassified tapes of Lyndon B. Johnson saying, I want that goddamn boat at the bottom of the ocean. And he had Israeli fighter jets dumping white phosphorus and other munitions upon USS Liberty. The captain was McGonigal, if I remember, McGonigal. And if I remember, Captain McGonigal. I mean, that's a weird name, right?
I think you're right, because that.
And these sailors were threatened with court-martial if they spoke of the events of our great ally Israel. And look, Israel doesn't just renegade do this, they're told to by us. So the CIA and the Mossad or whatever intelligence apparatus or military industrial apparatus is in control of these nation states is in cahoots. They act as one often more than not. You understand? So these folks were threatened with court-martial. Shut the fuck up about what happened because, as Ricky stated, they couldn't sink the boat. They couldn't sink the fucking boat. But the tapes were declassified 50 years later, supposedly. Hiker Emoji said that he said that they brought it up on Jones again. He interviewed the person with the tapes. I've heard the fucking tapes. I don't know that I can search them up and find them anymore. The internet is fucking weird. It's no longer this treasure trove, this dictionary, this thesaurus encyclopedia of endless. It's not. It's controlled. It's fucked up. You can't find shit. So,
it's right here.
Do you have access to those tapes?
Well, Alex Jones just popped this off yesterday.
We
can't put the whole thing on here. But
it's been a pretty touch and go situation. Linda and I have had quite a few unpleasant words here lately over the deal with that he hired Mike Wallace to assassinate the president. It's been hectic in every way, but we've lived through this far. I guess we'll continue to do so.
So
I put the link into this.
I saw that. I saw they dropped something new. So they're saying LBJ hired the killing so he could become. So the VP killed the president. That's the new story. That's the drop.
Yeah, that's the drop. It's an hour and a half long video. So like I'm with Jamie. I hadn't had a chance to sit back and watch it yet.
You got to watch it first. Me too. I'd have to watch
it first.
I
do believe it. The story that I always grew up with and the story that I was kind of told on was that the story was that LBJ was part of the industrial complex and JFK stood in the way of the war in Vietnam. And they needed him. Huh?
And he stopped Cuba. That they really were.
Yeah, and us going in and fucking up, right.
So in a philosophical way, in an abstract way, are they presenting to us LBJ as a sort of moral patsy to take away from all the powerful organizations that wanted JFK dead? In other words, he aligned with them and he was maybe their bag man or their replacement, their controlled tool. But was he truly the linchpin or the mastermind when you had the mob, the Mossad, the CIA, when you had all these organizations, powerful, moneyed up, breaded up, powerful organizations that wanted him dead because he was after them? But so I doubt it. To my core, I doubt it. And I think it is presented to us as a nugget, but a nugget of bullshit. Maybe it's truth, but it's wrapped in candy coated horseshit. I don't know. I haven't even looked at it yet, but that's just my cynicism. So I apologize for that rant.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, you hear a lot of people talk that we hadn't had a true president since JFK. The rest of them been puppets. You know, the rest of them been puppets. You know, because he stopped them. He wanted to do away with the Federal Reserve. He wanted to stop it. He stopped him from going into war with Cuba because they were gung ho with that. We had people over there. I seen the documentary on that. They put this woman over there and was sleeping with Fidel, trying to get where she could kill him. Like she moved in with him, and Fidel, like for years, he was over there with him for years. They were trying to get her to kill Fidel, but she couldn't do it. You know, they were gung ho on all that stuff because they had that communist state right that close to us and stuff, and they were whatever. Just it's the industrial complexes and money. You know, why all the banks has already funded both sides of every major war, because it's money, it's money it's money for munitions and weapons and troops. It's money for rebuilding the nations. And, whatever time you see, like, we went over there to Iraq and blew all that shit up. And then what we do, we spent billions of dollars to go help rebuild the nation. My uncle was over there after he retired. He was over there making $150,000 a year, part of the civilian populace that was over there helping with that stuff, Um, yeah, they spent lots of money of going over there, and we destroy shit, and then we spend money because it's just a money laundering easy way to make money, as always is what it seems to be.
The military industrial complex, in my reading and research over the years, it comes up again and again as a fundamental, it's sort of a necessity for the New World Order. It's one of the ways they advance and control, little by little. It's almost like the game Risk, but they have more of a full spectrum control, it seems. You've talked about the currencies and the nations that they and so it's just like this noose tightening around the world, these motherfuckers. But yeah.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, you were right about McDonald. He was the Captain William Loren McGonagall was the captain of the USS Liberty when it was attacked on June 8th, 1967.
Oh, I see. Wit's in the she's in the Riverside chat. I just saw the Riverside chat. Greetings.
Yeah,
Wit.
she's on our side of the room. She's Jamie's
earlier. You scumbag, Jamie.
That's Jamie's assistant.
Dude, scumbag, you grimy He said assistant. I was like, who's he talking to? All right. Ironically, Jamie is Joe Rogan's assistant's name. Anyway.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before the show started. We're like, I guess
I'm reading.
I said Whitney's going to be Jamie to. I don't know. It got confusing there for a second. So Joe Rogan, Jamie's Joe Rogan, Jamie. I don't know. It's too many Jamie, Joe Rogan shit. I don't know.
That's so
I had it figured out earlier.
I'm reading this. I'm just catching up on this little chat here. Okay, I'm good. I'm caught up. These chats are hot. I love the chats. They're kind of my favorite.
Yeah, the chat is awesome. It's awesome. I was telling somebody about it. That's one of the best, best parts. Like, we have a good time conversating between the three of us, but then the chat is awesome because everybody puts in feedback, and we've had some new listeners or first time chatters tonight too. It's cool.
I noticed that.
Which is awesome.
No doubt.
Yeah, because like James Rye earlier was talking. I didn't get to put it into the context here from on YouTube.
Oh, he's on
Was
YouTube.
talking about all the 384,000 acres that Chinese government owns, and lots of it's around U.S. military bases. Little things that make you go,
That's where he's at. He's chatting in YouTube. I've been texting with him. He said, I'm in the chat. And I was like, I don't see you, bro. I just sent him. And so cool.
Yeah, he's in the
cool. Shout out to James, the second James, Rhino. So
and your buddy Kevin been listening on Facebook.
No doubt. Okay, man. There's
Glona's in Facebook. He only said he gave me the peace sign. Hopefully he's still listening.
Cool. Very cool. He might be asleep, man. He could have passed out. Fuck.
He might have.
I could just imagine people on the radio waves, man, tuning in and tuning out, baby.
Yeah.
Because this is a different kind of show right here. It's news, kind of.
We'll talk. Yeah. For the first time listeners, it's like, wait a minute, these guys are all over the damn place, but we having fun and putting out the facts too at the same time.
Oh, that's very cool. Shout out to Tex, man. My boy Tex.
We should just rename this podcast and call it the ADD podcast.
Man, I don't know. We don't have
ADHD.
I was on a friend's podcast. I was on. You get on Wally's World's podcast and stuff. Not his podcast, I guess it's just live feed. And man, it's all over the place. They talk about anything and everything, and just having fun and talking, with people all over the world. I wonder where Wally is today. Speaking of that, where the hell is Wally? But yeah, a lot of time Wally be on there. It's good to see everybody keep coming back and listening, and we appreciate them for sure.
Mm-hmm. We do, most definitely. We do. I don't know what that means.
It's a good time. It is a good time. I missed last week. I was over there. I was unplugging a fan, and the son of a bitch arced. It was warm. I pulled the plug out. It was fried. I mean, I turned the power off first, then pulled the plug out, and had to run to the store a couple times, do some things, and had to miss. So do you guys, can you give me a summary? If you were to give me like a cool summary of last week, I haven't gotten to watch the show, the J6 tapes.
Well, I learned at the end of the podcast that nobody could hear any of the videos that I played. And I played the videos back to back to back to back to back. So Ricky never got a word in to let me know that nobody could fucking hear him, because all I could hear was the chaos of the videos.
Bro.
Yeah, I was like, Jamie. And he was just like, doo. If you go back and listen to it, you'll hear me like, Jamie.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I mean, it happens.
And then after the fact, I felt like I was a little bit of an asshole for dropping somebody's name that used to give me a hard time. And I probably shouldn't have done that. But, I don't know, man.
That did get aired, the name?
Oh, yeah. I was an asshole. I shouldn't have, Well,
So
man, I just felt like the person was just constantly one of those, only show up on social media to say something negative to me. And it was always something derogatory about something I said about COVID or, January 6th or President Trump, or just being negative Nancy.
Tell that person that there's no such thing as bad publicity. So like a shout out's a shout out, bro.
That's it. I mean, we talked about that, just We talked about let's letting go. Just if you got to
Right.
delete
So
somebody, just,
like
just
my
delete
big
those
point
people.
with all of it, my point of it was like I used to be really mad at people that constantly gave me a hard time or fought back about shit. But I don't get mad anymore. Now I feel sorry for some people because they've been so brainwashed and led down a road that they have a hard time coming back from, because for them to unbelieve what the truth is that they've created or been told, and this whole environment that they've been in is false. And for some people can't realize that, you know what I mean? And it's hard to accept. So I don't get mad that people are not educated to the topic. I wasn't going to say anything else. Anyway,
What do y'all think about
I'm-
the meme there on the screen?
well, hey, there it is, man. Listen. Listen.
They
Listen.
tell it in the movies. They show us in the movies exactly what they're fucking doing. I swear to everything. I believe that with my whole heart. I feel like sometimes when I say it, I feel like I'm batshit crazy, just like Sam Tripoli. But for real, I truly believe that they show us in the movies exactly what has happened and what they're doing or going to do when you look back. Um, just like with the Iron Man
I still
movie
think they're going to
and
take the grid down, bro. That's my thought.
the
They're going to take
possibilities.
the communication grid down. Internet and data will go down. I've just been waiting for that to happen.
I'd prefer that happen over electricity to go down, because electricity going down equals a lot of death in about a month if it stays down.
Yeah.
I believe.
Oh, listen, hey. What was the study or the theory? 30 days.
Sure. It was like
30 days would knock out 90% of the population.
It was longer, but yes, it was like 3 or 4 months. It was like 100 days, 90 to 120 days or something like that. But yes, without any intervention, just the power. Kill the power, and like 80-90% of the entire US population's dead. That's what was that was a think
Right.
tank or kind of simulation theory, right? So that's what I fear. The fuck, dude. If it's just the data, like if they kill the internet, kill switch on the internet, that's one thing. But if we have a massive grid failure, that's a whole.
Well, hang
problem,
on.
bro.
So listen, the internet's a problem as well, brother. Think about the world that we live in today, Dave. Nobody has cash. How much cash? You probably have cash on hand. I know I got cash on hand, but the general
But you're
person
right.
does not have cash on hand. You know what I mean? And when
It's a
the
problem
data
for a
goes
minute.
down, you lose all internet for transactions.
No, you're right. So it's a
3
different
days
grid.
of somebody not being able to buy groceries because they have no access to cash, and that grocery store is going to get ransacked.
Oh,
Man,
that's going to be a lot of fun in certain areas.
Yeah.
Well,
you better own some.
I will be living in Memphis, Jeremy.
You better
might
own
need to
some
get out of there,
fishing
baby.
gear and know how to use it.
You might need to get out of Memphis because they're going to
Bro,
turn into a war zone.
I'm going to abandon it. If the lights go out, like legit go down, hey, we've had an event, we leaving, bro. I'm locking my house up. I'm turning my cameras on, and I'm just leaving.
There's a whole book entitled "The Madness of Crowds." It's something in the madness of crowds, but the point that I'm making is that a lot of people in a small space is a whole threat. It's a whole issue in and of itself. Look at those Astro World concert stampede deaths that occurred, right?
Right.
I mean, and that's a kind of a concentrated example, I understand, but any dense populated area, it's a fucking powder keg, is what it is. And so a spark can set that motherfucker on fire. So you kind of want to get some space between you and other humans, because I'm going to tell you, man, humans are apex predators, and you just, fuck, dude, every human's a wild card in a revolutionary footing, which is I honestly, if you think about it, since COVID, or maybe since Trump from 2016, and certainly since 2020, we've been on revolutionary footing. They started getting real weird and on the bullshit when Trump got elected. And then in 2020, they unleashed a man-made virus upon us and tried to lock us down. We think they stole an election. Shit's so weird now. I don't even trust Trump personally 100%. I fucking think the whole thing is weird. There's fucking fires and huge hurricanes and terrorist attacks and fucking grids going down. There's all types of weird shit. It's very unsettling and disconcerting. It's Orwellian. It's dystopian. We're living in a fucking dystopia, and I fear that it's only beginning. They're just turning it on. I think it's just escalating, like in front of our eyes right now.
We won't see some even more. Have you seen the just on a different, just as crazy note? Have you seen the tunnels they've been talking about in LA?
Man, please tell me more about that. That was something I wanted to know a little more
This
about.
is the underground city that was found beneath Los Angeles by a man named Warren Shufelt. It was discovered using a device he invented to detect underground tunnels and caverns. Shufelt mapped out a network of passageways stretching for miles beneath the city. And here is where it gets crazy. His maps indicated a central chamber filled with gold and advanced artifacts. Shufelt said that upon analysis of the artifacts and the scriptures found within the passageways, they all pointed to a lost continent named Lemuria. Despite his groundbreaking findings, city officials abruptly shut down his excavation. They officially claimed that the tunnels were old subway lines. But this is where they messed up. The Los Angeles subway system didn't begin operation until 1990, over 70 years after Schufelt's discovery. So what subway lines were they referring to? Some speculate that they were referring to an ancient civilization that had access to a subway-like system. Some have even gone further to say that the city officials had knowledge from the future. They knew that Los Angeles would eventually have a running subway system in the years to come. Therefore, it would be the perfect cover-up, perfectly concealing its true origins.
All right, so I'm just going to stop right now. LA subway system had tunnels in 1920.
Okay. 105 years ago. So over a century ago.
Century ago had tunnels underground. Hey, do you remember as a kid? Ever seeing the big tunnel boring equipment in New York that was always drilling underground in New York? Do you ever remember seeing that? Let's see if...
Bro, you're not supposed to talk about subway tunnels or any kind of tunnels in New York ever since whatever happened at that Kabod thing last year, bro.
Whatever happened to that? That kind of got washed under the rug too, didn't it?
You know, I
they
think
pulled
they
all them people out and then
into the hole and said, "Hey, fill that hole up with concrete and everybody shut up."
Check this out. Oh yeah, isn't that crazy, bro? Bunch of those people from that country and that religion were there coming out of the ground.
Bro.
Check this out. Look at the look at the size. You know,
bro, yes.
I mean,
don't you? Yes, bro. Another movie. I'm going to stick to my thread, bro. We're going to loop threads. We're going to, excuse me. We're going to loop the threads. Anyway, no, I'm just joking. The movie was it Ocean's 12 when they robbed the casino, or was it 13 where they robbed and they tunnel bore with that big motherfucker right there? they simulate an earthquake with that motherfucker, like tapping into a fault line and shit. And Al Pacino is the fucking the casino type. I think it's the third one, so it'd be Ocean's 13 or
13.
9 or 10. One of the motherfuckers, but point is, they're always telling you about these things. So let me ask you this. The video we just watched suggested there's some tunnels that was advanced civilization subways, and that's a cool thought. But I mean, I've read and seen like some things that were suggesting that like all these big mansions that are all throughout LA, like there's this entire network, and it's a very real and extensive network, and it's a little beyond just subways.
That's for real.
To expand that thought, I've read you can travel from DC to LA underground, entirely subterranean, 100% underground from coast to coast. I've heard people say that, and I wonder if that's not the truth.
I mean, I know that for sure. They were talking about there's lots of maps and stuff of connecting celebrities' houses together and all that kind of stuff. They said it was just because they for privacy of the celebrities, so they could get to here and there. But
for privacy, right.
Yeah, it's for privacy.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me one bit that they did. I mean, have fucking bullet trains underground. I mean, it would go from LA to New York in fucking 30 minutes.
Yeah, they say they exist.
The second thought I was alluding to was like continuity of government stuff, but it's in the same vein of thought, like secret tunnels. I mean, do you remember? Was it a JFK speech where he was talking about a secret society as an abhorrent thing to people in general? It was a JFK speech for sure. Anyway, we'll have to play it one day. I'll get a clip for it. We'll play it next week. But he was talking about this, and he's like, when you talk about secret societies and fucking secret rituals, Bohemian Grove, whether it's Masonic stuff, whatever it is, and you're talking about this weird ass shit, and you got a bunch of politicians involved, media moguls and influencers, whatever you want to describe them as, that's a weird fucking thing, man. And I think it's antithetical to a free and healthy nation as well. So when these people are colluding and conspiring together to gather for themselves treasure and power, that's a fucking problem for an honest man.
Everything's a problem for an honest man.
Well, I may have said too much, brother. For that, I'm sorry.
It happens like that. It happens like that. Well, as I like to come back around to things, I started today with a tweet from one Nancy Pelosi celebrating the release of the hostages. But I would like to go back to Nancy Pelosi's tweet because timestamps tell everything. Nancy Pelosi's tweet thanking one President Biden came out at 1:29 p.m. this afternoon. Donald Trump's tweet on Truth Social came out at 12:01, where he says, "We have a deal for the hostages in the Middle East. They will be released shortly. Thank you." Now, timestamps say Donald Trump did it before Nancy Pelosi say Joe Biden did it. I'm just saying, data don't lie. Everybody know that Donald Trump made that shit happen. Sleepy Joe didn't fix nothing.
I said, if they're going to say it on CNN and come out on CNN and say, you know, it happened. You know, I mean, it's there is of all places. Here's the video. I had the wrong. This is the video I wanted to show. About the tunnels.
Okay, I don't know if this makes sense, but maybe you guys can help me. Why is the FBI checking in on Ben Affleck during the LA fires? Now, this is due to a civilian drone crashing into a Canadian super scooper helping with the fires. The Los Angeles Fire Department states that this Canadian plane called Quebec 1 sustained wing damage and remains grounded and is out of service. But they went to his house in Brentwood, so why are they investigating an incident that happened in the Palisades? Another weird thing is, why is the FBI investigating a situation that is clearly for the FAA, which is the FBI of the sky? Because the fire officials informed the FAA of a firefighting aircraft struck by a drone while it was operating over the Palisades in Los Angeles on Thursday, January 9th. The aircraft landed safely. The FAA will investigate. Now, you want to know what I think? Here we go. Now, we all know Ben and J-Lo got divorced last year very abruptly, but maybe it was just marital problems. Or maybe, just maybe, Ben Affleck knows a little bit more than we think via J-Lo due to the diddler. And not to mention, there's been a lot of tunnel talk about LA fires and the tunnels running throughout the whole city. Now, if you remember, last year I said I find it pretty interesting that Diddy lived only 1 minute away from the Playboy Mansion, in which had tunnels themselves. Yes, this is a blueprint showing tunnels under the Playboy Mansion that lead to other celebrities' homes in the neighborhood. Now, they said that these tunnels were for the stars to gain easy access to the mansion, but was it? Now, speaking of tunnels and fires, I found some more interesting things like this arson suspect who was just caught. Allegedly, he was an illegal immigrant from Mexico caught with a blowtorch, 5 different cell phones, and a United Nations prepaid card. What? And the fact that they just found a tunnel running from Mexico to El Paso doesn't help either. Turns out that this man-made tunnel had ventilation and electricity. This screams setup. Oh yeah, by the way, the Pizzagate gunman Edgar Welsh was just shot and killed last week during a traffic stop. He's actually the gunman that lit up Comet Pizza because he said Hillary and the whole bunch was doing their thing, etc. If you know, you know. I don't know, just throwing this out there, but this could be Hollywood tying up loose ends with him and the tunnels, etc. But it gets even weirder. So this whole LA tunnel thing is not a new scenario because this is former FBI agent Ted Gunderson. He's actually the one that blew the whistle on a child trafficking ring under a preschool which had tunnels.
The children identified professional football players, professional baseball players, household name actors, actresses, and the son of the leading politician, not a leading politician.
Now, they actually had 2 trials to this, which actually resulted in a hung jury because they didn't use certain evidence that he brought up, in which, get this, a plastic Disney bag they found in the tunnels, copywritten in 1982. But they stated that they sealed the tunnels before that. So unless this bag magically time traveled into that tunnel, how could this be? All in all, maybe all this is connected. We have celebrities and tunnels, historical data. So we'll see. Make sure you guys hit up my YouTube because I'm doing a
interesting.
Yeah, that was the one I wanted to show. That one made me go asking some questions.
Right. Well, we all know that there's some fuckery going on in there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. For sure.
I had watched half of that video. Whatever I saw it on must have been a short version of it because I learned some more there. But I saw that guy present some of that the other day on a shorter version. Diddy lived a minute away from access to those tunnels until there's a proper investigation and transparency. Who knows how extensive those tunnels are? But
come on, let's get a flashlight.
Yeah, right. I don't know, man.
Surely they'll just let us down there. Let's go check out the Epstein Island.
Hey,
Surely
we
they'll
can,
just let us on.
We can have some. We can get some exterminator shirts on, and say we're just there to fumigate. That's all.
Okay,
get rid of the
Ricky,
bugs.
We always use the phrase. We always have this beautiful phrase that we use. It's a palate cleanser. We could use it. Spirit lifting, palate cleansing, good story. I've procured peace in the Middle East. Some say I'm the Messiah. I could be. I'm not saying that. Others may say that. But moving forward, we shall see what Netanyahu and our friends Hamas and the Palestinians do for peace in the Middle East. So I'm joking, man. Look. I'm not trying to mock our boy in the least. I fuck with Trump. I voted for him 3 fucking times. Got some questions for him. Got some suspicions. Got some things I don't like. Got some things I do like. But there's a lot of weird stuff going on, and they've been just flooding us with a whole lot. It's almost traumatizing, all the things that are going on, man. Massive fires burning out LA, tunnels, child trafficking, and we're waiting on Diddy, we're waiting on Epstein, we're waiting on transparency. They're dropping JFK bombs. That's a fucking huge truth bomb. LBJ ordered JFK's assassination. That's a big deal, and for me to digest that in the midst of all this other stuff is a big ask from them. From
where's Maxine Delane and stuff? Where's she at? But
man, it's too much. Here's your too crazy right now.
It is. Here's your palate cleansing right here for you, my friend. Here's your palate cleansing.
You got it.
Go! Yep. Go back to the water. Tell me, going the wrong way.
Watch this moron.
Yeah, Clint, put the hook on it. No, fuck it. Just peel out. Oh, my God.
His nuts hurt. I'm just going to bet that his balls hurt, Coach.
You had one job.
That dumb mother. Back it up.
What's that going to do? You had one fucking job.
All you had to do was hook the hook.
That's funny.
No, you are.
Ooh.
Push it back. Yeah, go. Well, bro. Push it back.
Alcohol.
Hey, just pick it up and put it back on there. Hey, just pick it up and put it back on there.
It's only 3,200 pounds, you pussy.
Hey, get the boat oar and use it to pry it up on there.
His hand slipped.
Why do you think?
How stronger? He was strong enough to hold the boat on. He thought he could hold that boat on while he got pulled out of the water. That's the beauty of it.
How much beer do you think was involved?
Quite a bit. Quite a bit.
Oh, I'm sure it was quite a bit. Oh my God, Ricky Pike, what you got coming up this weekend, man?
Nothing this weekend like big things. Just gonna go out to my land and do some working, like stuff like that, and get ready for the downsizing.
Right.
But the weekend after, we're going to be in Hernando for the SEFC fights.
Yeah, I'll be down there for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Man, they got big Jose Evans coming in out of Alabama. He's going to be back in action. I don't know if you've ever seen that big dude throw hands before, but he's fun to watch.
Yeah. I remember I was there with probably the second or third fight or something like that. I've been seeing him for a long time.
Is Chase Mann on this card?
No.
No. Who's the other pro on this card? I don't
one
remember.
One of your boys is on there against David Whitaker.
Yeah, I don't remember who we've got on that
Oh,
card.
doggone it.
I'm pulling it up right now. Let's see if I can find a card. Here we go. So
I got it here. Evans, Pierce, David, Harris, Jackson, Smith, Knuckles, Murphy, Todd.
Who's the other pros though, other than
that David Whitaker's fighting?
Yeah.
Okay, I see it. Marquis Jones, I see it.
Yeah, Marquis Jones. Yeah.
Oh, there's a marquee right there.
Yeah. One of your law school friend.
Nathan.
Yeah, I went by there today, man.
Yeah, I got 3. Hopefully I can keep 3. I had one guy, my young Zane, he's on his 3rd opponent. So hopefully that'll hold together. If not, he just fight down the road, I guess. We'll find an opponent on a different card if this one don't
Who
hold
are your
together.
3? Ricky, who are
Zane
is
Murphy.
one of your guys, sir?
Zane Murphy's fighting. Caden Pope is fighting, and Tony Jackson. So it's going to be. They've been working really hard, and they're coming. So,
man, like I don't know what fights I can share. Shit, hang on, let me look. Like, there's so much stuff
they're
still under
posting
the.
today. I seen
Here we go. Let's see what's new and what's out there. Let's see what I can talk about.
I wanted to make a note of your guys, Ricky. I always like to root for your guys. So,
yeah, we're
going
going
to be there. I will see you guys there. That's going to be a fun night. I've never been to the what'd you call it? Is National Guard Armory? What is it exactly?
Yeah, it's a National Guard Armory. It's right there beside Expressway.
I don't know that.
Okay,
you never done a show there?
No, sir. That'd be my first.
Oh, it's a fun room, man. It's nice. You know, they pack some people in there, man, and it's a nice room, man. Not too big. Got yeah, it's gonna be loud.
I heard the food was fucking great.
Yeah, last time, I mean, that's who Danny brought in there. They did good, and they did really good food, and so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. I know Leanne and Danny's worked really hard on making this work after the snow and stuff, and so it's gonna be fun.
Right.
Well, very cool.
Yeah, and then February, man, the Attitude card. I've seen a bunch of these are released now. So Jared Travis is back. Get to watch him fight. I don't know if this is his first fight back since tearing his pec, but he messed something up in his chest, man, last year in Jackson, Tennessee, at the Black Tie Boxing event there. Good to see him back. David Hayes and Robert Burns. This is take 3 now. We tried to have them on the last card. David ended up, Robert missed weight pretty bad, cut quite a few pounds, man. Poor dude, man. I saw him. He had no more water coming out of his body trying to cut weight. Then we got Paul Kimball's on the card, man. Raheem Rambo Forrest is back. Excited to see him on the card, man. And then, dude, I mean, we got this card lined out with law school, man. Jakia Kegler's coming up, amateur 125er out of Cleveland, Mississippi. She trains with the Wolfpack down there in the cage, man. Dude, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Johnson brothers, the 2 twins, Terrell and Daniel. Let me tell you, man, these young men right here are something else. Pay attention to the twins, man. They're going to do something. Parker Byers is back. Big Parker Byers. He's taking on Blake Mitchell. Blake Mitchell beat his teammate, Big Will Redman, at the last Attitude fight. So now Parker's coming in, man, to redeem the Memphis crowd and put that work in. It's going to be a good card, man. I'm sure you'll be there. So got no doubt that I won't see you there.
I know a kid. He's going to be on there. He ain't a kid no more, I guess. But they just put it out there today. Colton Talent. I known his mom since she was a teenager. So,
oh really? Wow! Look at you.
I know his whole life. So yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. I know he competes hard in the grappling tournaments and stuff like that, and he's been training hard.
Nice.
So it'll be nice. It'll be cool to see him get out there and compete. So little shout out for him.
I
gotta tell you, man, the fight that I'm looking forward to is this David Hayes Robbie Burns fight. You know, Dave beat him when they were amateur, got the title, and they've been supposed to meet 2 different times now, and ain't made it happen yet. This is gonna be a fun rematch to watch here.
Yeah.
So good times, man.
We got SFC in March coming up too.
In March, word.
That's right.
I don't.
So, Ricky.
Yes.
I just noticed. I just saw that Caden is fighting Marvin. So, like,
yeah, he is.
So, Marvin and me work together a lot, mitts, sparring, and that's a special thing for me. It's interesting because Marvin has endured some transitions that have been taking place at Destoto Apex, and he's been a real champ about it because it's right on top of his camp. There's been some holidays, there's been some weather, there has been some staff adjustment. There has been
to say the least. Huh?
There's been a lot of things, and Marvin, he's just been working. And motherfucker sent me to bed tired the other night. We worked on, man. Look, we put an hour and a half, 2 hours in. I went, man. He whooped me. I probably whooped him a little too, but we sparred hard and we got after it. And despite all this crap, he's just been focused. So
that's good.
I'm going to be working the event, obviously, and I know I don't even understand that. I'm going to have to talk to Danny Shell or his matchmaker about why Marvin and Caden are so low on the card. I believe they're going to need to be next time those cats are on the card. They need to be a little higher up on the card, I think, because I know Marvin does, and if Caden is his contemporary and equal, he needs to be a little higher on the card too, because I know Marvin's working real hard. Those guys are going to put on a show. I'm ready for that.
Well, Caden is his debut, so I understand why he's down, because Caden's a debut.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
It's going to be his first. It's going to be his first MMA fight, so it's going to be. But he's been working his butt off, and I know that y'all have had some adversity over there, and all kinds of stuff going on. We won't say more than that.
Sure.
On the live.
Sure. Fuck, I don't even know what all went on, to be frank with you. That's the God honest truth. But and there's no love lost for anybody for me. I'm just
I'll be to laugh, but stuff happened around me years ago, and I was in the same boat. Like, people ask me questions, and years ago I had some situation happen, and people were asking me questions. I was like, and I had the same. I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea.
Sure thing.
And I was the number one person they were throwing up, and blah 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 blah. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So, but all I did was focus on who I got and who I'm training and who wants to be there and who don't want to be there. That's fine. You go your way, and that's all you can do. You can't think of what is it? You can't worry about spoiled milk. Just you throw it out and you just go get you some more, and you keep on moving.
Just keep on, man. Sometimes you got to write off that $5 milk.
Look here.
That's it.
I'm going to go on the motherfucking record right now. I'm going to say this shit live, because there's no love lost. There's nothing but love for 2 guys that are no longer training with me, and I lament their departure. But I honor when a man needs to change up his atmosphere on his journey as a warrior, and I understand it. I understand it in my fucking core. And so, to the men who I truly loved having to train with, who I might not train with for a little while right now in this season, best of luck. High salute. Nothing but love. Having been in this game for a long time, loving the sport of mixed martial arts and just being able to come back into it in some capacity now at this older age. Man, I probably, would have been all in the drama back in the day, but now I just sit back and look at this and I say, you know what, things change, seasons change, and people move, and it is what it is. So it's all love, it's positivity. There's some good cards coming up, some great matchups, and man, I'm just on fire for all of it, brother. I'm really ready to see it all, and I can't wait to see you two brothers down there in Hernando at the Armory in less than 2 weeks, I reckon.
Yeah. Week and a half.
Week and a half. Coming fast.
Coming fast, baby. Y'all motherfuckers better be cutting weight. Look. Okay.
Well, gentlemen, I love you guys, man, but I got to wrap this bad boy up, man. I got to get off here and take care of some business and get on some work tonight.
No, all right. Sounds good. Hell, sounds good. Jamie, any shout outs you want to do?
Man, just to my boy Wes Joyner, man. I'm going on a hunting trip this weekend, and it's all because of him. And he made an event happen so that I can take somebody else hunting and get Whitney out in her element and get her back in the woods and take a girl in a wheelchair hunting. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So we'll be up in the deer stand Friday and Saturday. So wish us luck. Hopefully we have some venison and some turkey sausage. Deer sausage coming up soon. So that's I appreciate him for making that happen for me. So he knows the right people.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Hey, one more thing before I roll out of here on that note. You said something earlier about what can we do to change social media with all the negativity and everything like that. How about just have some positivity in the world, right? A lot of people post videos of them helping people because they want clicks and views and shit like that. How about just go out and just be positive in life and cheer other people on and push other people to be better, and there's so much fucking hate where everybody hates to see another motherfucker get ahead in life. Fuck that, man. Don't be a hater. Be a cheerleader, man. Cheer everybody on. Wish everybody success in 25, man. Don't get caught up in whatever your own personal failures or struggles are that you hate to see another motherfucker get ahead. No matter what you got going on, man, cheer for everybody else. No matter what you got going on, even if you're at the worst place you can be at, still cheer for everybody else. Because the only person that puts you in that situation is you. So I'll go out on that note.
Sounds good. Dave, what about you, huh? You got any?
Bro, I already did my shout out, man. My final shout out is to the chat room, to the fucking chat room, baby. We love you.
The chat room.
All of our listeners, baby. Yeah, for sure. That's it. You, Ricky, for hosting us. My comrade Jamie. Excuse me, Jamie. I fucking love you. You're appointed to excuse me, you're gonna be press secretary. Just wait. It's only a matter of time. And they will say he was the best press secretary. It's true. And you will see. So I love you guys. That's it for me, bro.
Yeah, let's let me shout out to the chat. I'll do the smaller one first, I guess. We got Sweets in the YouTube chat. They said Sweets and Hiker Emoji. Guarantee them two are going to be here. Appreciate both of them. Hiker's in the Rumble chat and Sweets is in the YouTube. Fallen Star popped in at the end. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. James Rock came in for the first time. We had Overlander BC. Dave's Waffle House. I ran up on his live the other day and he's seen my screen name, for the thing. And he said, man, I love that. I love that name. And I said, well, it's the name of my podcast. And he was like, I'm going to come check it out. And I said, well, come on, come check it out.
Well, come on.
And he had, cool. I think probably 7 or 8 people subscribed to it just from that live, from just, for me just popping up on that live and was talking to people. And I had like, I think 7 or 8 people subscribed just on that. So it was good. James of Salcedo Paranormal, he got to enjoy the whole beginning. He was here for the whole show. I'm sure glad he's able to make the whole thing.
Awesome.
Ephemeris is here. Redbeard the Patriot, whoever the hell that guy is. We got him in here.
Fuck that dude. I know him. Yeah.
Yeah. I know Michael Strange from Troubled Minds, and Herschel. Sterling was in here. Let's see. I know we had some others come up. Now we had on the Facebook, we had Kevin Glona on there, had Chase Jackson from Northeast Arkansas. We got Arkansas in the house. Oh shoot, I just seen one pop up. And Virgil Kane. Awesome. Appreciate y'all for listening as always. And I love the interactive chat. I was telling people about that stuff. I mean, that's one of the better things of the channel and everything, just the interactive chat, and we get to have fun, and we'll talk some serious stuff, but then we'll turn around and have fun too at the same time. And so
we're pretty
always
ADD.
Yeah. As always, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Make sure you let people know this is number 28, and we ain't looking like we're stopping no time soon. So come join the board. We're steadily growing. Everything keeps going. The numbers keep going up. So we're going to keep on keeping on. And so like I said again, I just want to say it one more time. I thank y'all, and I thank y'all for coming in. And this is the highlight of my Wednesdays, really. And for real, I look forward to it. I get up here and I'm like, I'm doing something else, but like, hey, maybe it's time for me to go in there and get on my computer for a little while, get ready. And I'm like, oh, still got time. But this is fun. And like I said again, I appreciate y'all. And as always, y'all keep on keeping on. And the peace and the chicken grease. Y'all be good.
Peace and chicken grease. I'm so ridiculous. I love you, gentlemen. Y'all are awesome.